God message today, beloved. Before you take another breath, pause and hear this whisper from the heart of God, because He is reaching for you with a message meant to steady your spirit and awaken your hope. And I feel led to speak it with reverence, as if I were standing beside you in a quiet chapel in the early morning light. God says there is a chapter in your life unfolding right now in ways you cannot see, and just like He guided Elijah through the barren wilderness, He has been guiding you through your own hidden valley, placing strength inside you for what is coming next. And though you may feel behind, forgotten, or misunderstood, He wants you to know you are exactly where His hand has positioned you. For nothing in your story is late, nothing is wasted, and nothing escapes His eye. And even the tears you cried in places like Willow Creek, or the prayers you whispered alone in your room in Briarfield, are seen by the God who answers with fire. And just as He raised David from obscurity to purpose, He is shaping something mighty in your life. Something that others will marvel at when it is revealed. But hear this carefully, because the Spirit of the Lord brings a holy tension here. Someone you never expected has been carrying you in quiet, consistent prayer. Someone who noticed your heart before you ever noticed theirs. Someone who looked past age, distance, and difference, and God has been working in their spirit just as intentionally as He has been working in yours. And even though the timing has felt strange and the emotions have stirred questions, God says the connection is not accidental, and it is not random. It is part of a divine orchestration that only He could design. And though the enemy has tried to send confusion, fear, and second guessing into your mind, God is stepping in now to settle your heart, to remind you that He does not author chaos. He authors clarity, peace, and truth, and the truth is that He is aligning two hearts for a purpose greater than simple companionship, for He is preparing a relationship that will strengthen faith, restore what was lost, and bring glory back to His name. But listen closely, because the suspense you feel is intentional. It is God holding you in a place of reflection so that when He opens the next door, you will walk through it with discernment and humility, not rushing, not forcing, simply following the gentle leading of His Spirit like a lamb trusting its shepherd. For even Jesus said, "My sheep know my voice," and God wants you to recognize His voice more clearly than the noise around you. And now, as this message settles into your soul, He gives you this final truth. Do not judge what He is building by what you see today. For the Lord is crafting something beautiful behind the scenes, and if you stay faithful, stay prayerful, and stay surrendered, He will reveal why the waiting mattered, why the longing had purpose, why the delays were divine, and why He allowed this connection to enter your life in a way that touched you deeper than expected. For God's timing is perfect. His plans are steady, and His love is the anchor that will hold you through every season. And the life lesson He wants you to carry is this: when God writes a story, He writes it in a way that no human hand can erase. So walk in trust, walk in faith, and get ready for the chapter he is about to turn, because what he reveals next will make your heart understand why he made you wait, pray, and stay close to him all along. My beloved friend, pause just for a moment, because the Spirit of the living God is reaching for your heart right now, whispering words you were never supposed to miss. God says, "My child, do not rush past this, because what I am about to reveal carries the weight of heaven." There is someone in your story, someone you never expected, who has carried a quiet love for you, a love they never spoke about, a love that stayed gentle even when the world around them felt loud. This person, whose name I will call Elias for this moment of revelation, once looked at you the way Ruth looked at Naomi, with a loyalty deeper than reason, deeper than age, deeper than circumstance. And God sees how you have tried to bury this thought, how you convinced yourself it was impossible because of the distance, the difference, the gaps life placed between you. But God says, what you call a gap, I call a bridge. What you call unlikely, I call chosen. You didn't know how often Elias prayed for you. Prayers spoken under dim lights, whispered into late-night uncertainty, placed before my throne like small offerings of hope. You didn't see the moments when their heart trembled at the mention of your name, or how often they asked me for the strength to let go if letting go was my will. But heaven kept record. My child, you have been loved in silence, honored without knowing, cherished in a way that reflects my own heart for you. And while you walked forward thinking the story had ended, the author of your destiny was still writing, carefully, patiently, weaving the kind of chapter no human hand could compose. Hear me. This love was not an accident. It was a seed. And though seasons came when it seemed buried beneath disappointment or confusion, I, the Lord your God, have been watering what you thought was dead soil. There were days when you felt unseen, unnoticed, unvalued, but God says, even then, someone was thanking me for your existence. And now I am stirring the winds, turning the pages, aligning steps you thought would never cross again. But do not misunderstand. This is not just about romance. This is about revelation. This is about me showing you that love, real love, the kind that reflects my heart, cannot be erased by time, age, distance, or circumstance. My child, I am preparing you not for a fantasy but for a testimony, not for emotional confusion but for divine clarity. And just as David said in Psalm chapter 23 that goodness and mercy would follow him, so my goodness is now circling back into your life in ways you didn't expect. I am teaching you that sometimes the blessing you ran from is the blessing I kept reserved for you. Sometimes the person who stepped back was the one I was shaping. Sometimes the quietest heart is the one I anointed for your journey. Yes, Elias felt the difference in years, the difference in paths, the difference in timing, and still their spirit honored you. That kind of love is rare. That kind of love is holy. And now you stand at a doorway I formed long before your doubts, long before your tears, long before the loneliness you tried to hide from others. Walk forward with prayer, not fear. Walk forward with faith, not pressure. Walk forward knowing I, the Lord your God, go before you. For the moral of this moment is simple but life-changing. What God ordains cannot be undone by timing, and what God plants cannot be uprooted by human hesitation. Share this truth, let it strengthen you, and remember, God's plans may take time, but they never fail. Type yes if you believe in God. Type 1111 if you believe in God.